Greetings, this is Bladestar and welcome to the review for the game called Ancient Frontier. Ancient Frontier is an indie turn-based sci-fi strategy game made by Fairweather Studios, which provided me with a copy for this review. Although I will explain the basic functions of the game, I would recommend trying out the tutorial if and when you get the game, because apart from teaching you how to play, it also offers a bit of extra character interaction, since you will be playing through the campaign with these characters. First things first, there are two campaigns to choose from. One is the Federation storyline and the other one is the Alliance one. The Federation is comprised by the 12 core worlds of humanity. The Alliance is made by fringe elements of society. People living in space stations and inhospitable planets, rich in the hydrium and proto-energy, the two core resources for technology usage. Depending on your choice, you will go through a different campaign and you start with different characters. On the main campaign screen, you will find the following: your fleet, the equipment you have and you can add to your ships, the missions you can take, the shop where you can buy ships and equipment, the research tab, the main menu and an option to rename your ships. First thing you need to know is the three main resources. Hydrium is used as currency. You can use it to buy ships and equipment from the shop. Proto-energy is used to power ships and colonies. You need it in order to deploy your ships. Last but not least is data. Use that to research new equipment and upgrade your ships. Now, let's check the first tab, the fleet. Here you can see your fleet ship in detail, their type or level, their stats and abilities. In the equipment tab, you can find the equipment you already have and add it to your ship. Beware though, all equipment come with both positives and negatives. Next, we have the mission tab. Here you can pick what kind of mission you want to go to. There are three types of missions. The story missions, where you progress your campaign story. This gives all three of the resources as a reward. The bounty missions, which are side missions you can take between story missions. This will give some rewards depending on the mission. Be aware that you can't get hurt and lose ships while undertaking those. These missions are sector specific, so you get different ones in each sector. Third and last kind of mission is the simulator mission. In this you get no resources, but you do get experience if you want a safe way to level up your fleet. You can only undertake 3 optional deployments between story missions, either bounty or simulator missions. After that, you will have to take a story mission for you to be able to do any more of them. You can always look at the star map on the right to get an idea where you are in the galaxy at the moment. Next, on the main campaign screen is the store. Here you can buy ships and add them to your fleet. Each ship offers different stats and abilities, and you expend hydrium to obtain them. If you change to the equipment tab, you can buy new modules to equip on your ships. This costs a bit of everything, and they upgrade your ships in a different area depending on what you pick. Your ships have limited equipment slots, so choose wisely. Next tab is the research screen. Here you can spend those hard-earned data. Here you can upgrade your various classes and subclasses of ships. You can upgrade both the ship stats and their abilities. Each class has its own skill tree, so some forethought is required. There is also the option to research a new equipment. Unlocking this will add them to the store so you can buy them later on. Now, let's jump to the gameplay part of the game. Pick a mission, and after usually some short dialogue between the characters, at least in the story missions, you load into a hex-based grid. Here you start in round 1, and depending on the initiative of your ships, you begin moving them around. Each ship has a specific number of movement points and a specific number of action points. Both take from different pools, so you don't have to choose between moving and using abilities and firing. Different ships obviously have different movement and action points or abilities. On the left of the screen you can see the name of the ship you control at the moment. Above it, in blue, are the movement points, and in red, the action points. Below, in red, are the hull points, and in blue, the shield points, if the ship has any. Above it to the left you can find its abilities. These abilities use an action point. Some, like firing, can be used in each round, and others have a few rounds cooldown. Inside the map you will find not only things to collect or enemies, but natural or man-made obstacles, asteroids, mines or structures. If you end your movement on some of them, like mines, they can destroy your ships, so be careful. Where they are useful is that they provide cover. Not unlike the XCOM games, they provide both half and full cover. Half cover gives you 20% defense and full gives you 45%. That means that the other ships are more likely to miss firing at you if you are covered. Cover is directional, so going to the unprotected flanks is always a good idea if you want a good percentage of success. Also, like XCOM, the camera will zoom in sometimes for those cool cinematic moments. Each mission will give you different objectives. In some you have to destroy the enemy ships, in others to gather specific resources or save civilians. These objectives grant you XP points, with which your ships level up. Killing enemy ships does not grant XP, so don't feel the need to kill everything you see, unless you want to, of course. There are also optional objectives, which will grant you more experience points, and sometimes time limits, so you will need to complete a mission in a specific number of turns. You start each map with a fog of war. Your ships have sensors that can see in only a certain radius. You can upgrade those in the research tab. There are also abilities that uncover part of the map. If you find the mission too hard, there is always the option to retreat. You will fail the mission, but you won't lose your fleet. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. The storyline is pretty interesting and offers a few twists and turns. It's something I would expect more from a space simulator like Wing Commander or Free Space than a strategy game, and I was pleasantly surprised. Music is also pretty good, from the soundtrack to the various sounds the ships or weapons make. There are some cutscenes in the game, and unfortunately, at least in the copy I was given, there was no subtitle option. Through my playthrough I encountered a couple of bugs, but the game was patched immediately. Keep in mind, my version of the game was from an earlier build. Also, the game offers no manual saving system. That means that whatever happens, bugs or bad choices on your part, you cannot recover from them. You retreat on a mission, you will have to repay the cost in fuel to get to it again. Your computer crashes, you will have to repay in fuel, etc. Another problem is while the maps have some nice settings, like asteroid fields, the perspective can get a bit weird, and you can find yourself struggling with the camera to see where you are going. In conclusion, this game offers pretty satisfactory gameplay, and it's pretty hard on veteran depending on the choices you make. It also offers a lot of content. The main campaign is about 30 missions, and if you include side missions and the second faction campaign, that is a lot of game, especially for €25 or dollars. Thank you for watching this review. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see in further reviews or changes in the format, feel free to leave me a comment below.